Good day. On December 6, on the sidelines of the Ukrainian authorities, the following rumors, gossip, insiders and opinions were discussed. Opinion. The office of the president continues to complicate its task with air defense supplies, creating the illusion of success in repelling missile attacks on critical infrastructure. Our technologists draw 99% results. In the West, the question will arise, why then do we need air defense installations, if the armed forces of Ukraine are so effective? Gossip. Gossip spread that the situation in the energy sector is much worse than officials say, promising to repair everything in 1 to 2 days. On the sidelines they say that the sweet promises of the authorities are aimed at creating a constantly false illusion among the people that they are about to do it, that everything will be fine, that it is about to win, and so on. It's easier to keep society in humility than to tell them the truth that everything is very bad and it is not known how it will be further and who will survive this and next winter. Gossip. There were gossips that they began to discuss the topic behind the scenes, that in the West the number of negative publications against the Ukrainian authorities had increased many times over. Add to this the fact that support for Ukraine is falling in the EU and even in the US. Ukrainian refugees are being expelled from everywhere and aid is being cut. It is becoming more and more difficult for the office of the president to promote its messages to a Western audience. There is a version that everything that is now published in the Western press has to be paid for. Backstage rumors. On the sidelines there were rumors that the Man of the Year from the British Financial Times cost a tidy sum for the office of the president. This award was organized for Zelensky by British lobby groups, PR people and political strategists who have been working with Bankova for a long time. Everyone knows that such awards are like beauty contests. Who pays is given a reward. On the sidelines, they are sure that Zelensky needs this award for an internal audience, as preparation for the upcoming elections in 2023. The oligarchs have already started preparing for the elections. There were even jokes that it was Yermak who made a gift to Zelensky for the new year, since he was upset when the Nobel Committee deceived his hopes, and he was waiting for and hoping to receive all the awards this year. Those who worked with Zelensky know that he loves fame and attention very much. All these figurines and photos in glossy magazines are important to him. Rumors. The source reports that we can expect a New Year and Christmas lightning offensive. Both armies are ready for it. Let's see who goes first. Regarding the attacks on Russian airports, two sources give different information. The first. The attack on airfields in Russia was carried out with the help of internal sleeper sabotage groups that are preparing their special operations under the clear guidance of British intelligence services, instructors, the source said. Second. The source said that yesterday the airfields Dyagilevo in the Ryazan region and Engels in the Saratov region were carried out by modern drones, which were received by the President's office from the British Special Services. The operation was carried out using satellite imagery in real time, which made it possible to strike at the time of refueling aircraft and with full ammunition, counting on the detonation of the ammunition as at airfields in the Crimea. Most likely, the information can be combined. But both point to the direct fate of the British intelligence services. If we evaluate the result of sabotage, then about 3 soldiers died, a truck burned down and a bomber aircraft was damaged. The information hype is great. Goals. 1. Provoke panic in Russia. 2. Try to run the Zrda case again and squabble. 3. To provoke the Russian Federation into retaliatory actions in order to warm up the Ukrainian information crisis in the West. Risk of backlash. 1. Consolidation of Russian society and support of the authorities. 2. Gradual elimination of all disadvantages in the army and personnel selection. 3. The reason for strikes on the energy system of Ukraine. Until this moment there were no strikes for 2 weeks. Let's see how both sides use this case. Rumors. Layout. The Ukrainian crisis can be forgotten with 2 so far obvious options. 1. Taiwan crisis. 2. Greco-Turkish military conflict. Perhaps other military conflicts that are not currently in the public eye, but there is always a risk of their beginning. It is worth pointing out that the Europeans are already tired of the Ukrainian crisis, and if something new starts, then the relevance will disappear at times. Contradictions have been growing more and more between Turkey and Greece lately. Now preparations are underway for a conflict, sooner or later it will flare up, as the Karabakh conflict flared up. There is also a good moment at this moment, a new large-scale military conflict, perhaps, will accelerate the signing of some new Minsk agreements between the Russian Federation and Ukraine. This is A+ for the Ukrainian people, but a- for the Ukrainian authorities. Everyone will forget about them, stop allocating enough money and weapons, the media will not interview Zelensky, and his glory will begin to fade. Inside. MI6 transmitted intelligence to the office of the president and the general staff that the Kremlin had decided to deploy the so-called Arctic troops to the Eastern Front. British intelligence suggests that the Russian command wants to take advantage of the preparations for hostilities in cold weather and launch a counterattack by the armed forces of Ukraine near Svatovo. Fact. Last week, U.S. offshore crude oil exports topped 7.1 million barrels per day, This is an all-time record, at least by known counts. At today's price of $18.5 billion a month. One of the pslav of this war. It flies to Donetsk for the second day in a row indiscriminately. The armed forces of Ukraine could shoot like that before, but the locals say that this has never happened before. They fire anywhere. This is what the negative dynamics of the negotiations looks like. The parties are looking for each other's vulnerable sides. In response, flew to the Dnieper. Strongly. After a long pause, the kamikaze UAVs Martyrs, Geran 2, returned. Arrivals along the Dnieper and the region. Poltava, Kirovorad and Zaporozhye regions heard UAV flights. See you soon.